So how far has Cole Van Lannon come in the time that you've had him? And, is he a guy who could actually play left tackle for you, or do you think he's more of a guard now?
Yeah, I think, well, Cole's come a long way. He's getting a lot better, really fitting into our scheme and everything like that. I don't see him in the NFL being a left tackle. I think he's more of an interior guy and that could, go out to right tackle if you need him. But yeah, he's doing a great job. He's trying to just be a valuable backup at every position right now because of our depth. So he's working hard, and he'll be ready if his number's called.
Mark Daniels.
Hey, Adam, got me okay?
Yep, got you, Mark.
It's been tough, obviously, at tackle, but really since Josh went down and Lucas has stepped in, and those three interior guys have kind of held it together. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, those guys have kind of been the steady presence ever since that Chicago game when Myers went down. And the good thing is they just keep improving. All those guys are really doing a good job. I think Lucas is coming along really well at center. Royce, over the last probably 4 games, has played his best ball. And Runyon has really every single week just kept getting better and better. So, obviously they got a lot to work on still, but I really like kind of how they're trending and everything like that. So it's been good to just have those guys inside kind of solidify everything and keep us all on the same page, especially at center with Lucas, just making sure we got the right calls and everything like that.
Jason Wilde.
Hey, Steno, how are you?
Good, Jason. How's it going?
Good. Hey, I know there's a 5th grade basketball team that you care more about than the one that I care about.
Yeah, that's right.
But I stole the new mistakes thing from you.
Oh yeah, there you go.
What exactly is that phrase, and is that a Steno original, or is
no,
that something that you?
No, I got that back when I was a GA at Michigan. That's the first time I heard that. But it's basically coaches want you to make new mistakes, and they don't want you to keep repeating old mistakes. So it's basically just teaching you to learn from your mistakes and then making sure, whatever happens, you're going to make mistakes. Just don't repeat them.
Well, I loved it, and it's really good. So
Good.
I appreciate borrowing.
Oh, you bet.
I'm wondering how good of a job have your guys done of that, though? Because when you're dealing with a bunch of guys that are rising up to the starting lineup, you're expecting mistakes, but how good of a job have they done at following that credo?
I think for the most part they've done pretty well, and a lot of it has to do with just how much experience you have in general. Typically older guys who have more experience, they're not thinking about their fundamentals as much as his younger guys are. They can, if something happens, they can adjust pretty quickly, especially in the games. But younger guys, it tends to take a little bit longer for things to kick in, especially if they're fundamental mistakes where, your footwork's bad or your hand placement's bad, things like that. So it's just a matter of keeping on these guys and making sure they're just holding themselves accountable, which our guys do a really good job of that.
Steve McGarkey.
I'm just wondering, I've heard some players talk about kind of the autonomy that Matt has given the assistant coaches, the freedom to help. And I'm just wondering, do you have any examples of that? How has that kind of changed from year 1 to year 2 to year 3, the way Matt's interacted with the assistants and kind of the freedom and autonomy he's given each of the position coaches?
Yeah, I think, starting with year 1, we were all coming from a lot of different places. None of us had really worked together before, so Matt, has his system, and some guys are familiar with it, some guys aren't, and it's just a matter of him getting us all on the same page. And then once that happens, he can trust us. He knows what, our teaching style. He knows kind of who we are, and then he can let us kind of go off on our own path and teach how we want to teach. That's been the nice thing, is just he's allowed us as coaches to let our personalities out and let us interact with the players, and I think that's really helped us just become a tighter team because the players feel more connected to their coaches. So it's been very good.
Tom?
Yeah, Adam, when a couple of weeks ago when Yash was playing against LA, I know he had a couple plays where he was real physical with Donald. He was kind of got mixed it up with Von Miller a little bit, and that kind of seen it the last couple of weeks. Is that sort of new to his game? Is that part of the confidence that he's kind of building?
Yeah, I
He's trying
think
to hurt guys.
with him, he's got it in him. He obviously has excellent athleticism, excellent strength, and all that stuff. It's just a matter of, like you said, him being confident and just coming off the ball hard and really just focused on getting after the guy in front of him, and that takes a lot of confidence and a lot of determination. So I think as he keeps playing, hopefully we see more and more of that stuff.
Mike Spofford.
Hey, Adam, with really cold games, we always talk about the challenges of handling the football, catching the ball, and all that. Is there an added challenge for linemen playing when it's really cold? And with regard to handling the ball, is there an added challenge for Lucas as the guy who's snapping?
Yeah, I don't think linemen in general, there's really that much of a challenge. It's, once you get out there and you get playing, it's football. So, but there is, with centers, you got to make sure your hands warm. Obviously, the ball can be a little bit harder. It might be a little bit slicker, at the colder it gets. So that all that stuff plays a part, definitely.
Jason Wilby.
Hey, Steno, you mentioned Runyon in passing, but I was wondering a little bit more about him. Just in what ways he's really developed significantly over this stretch. I mean, looking back to training camp when you guys were competing inside, he had to work his way into that opportunity. How far come and in what ways?
He's come a long way, and I think two probably main things. Number one, in camp, he was just very inconsistent with his fundamentals, and he would take bad steps. He would use his hands poorly. He'd have high pads, and you'd see flashes of him doing it correctly and having success. And then as he's kept playing, he's just been more consistent with all just the basic fundamentals that put you in a position to block people. And then as you do that, once you just basically master your fundamentals, then it's him just playing with more confidence. And he's done a really good job kind of handling the change on the left side and really helping Yash out and, echoing what Lucas has to say. And I think he's just getting more confidence the more he plays.
Couple more. Mark Daniels.
Yeah, Adam, you mentioned, Lucas with the, ball handling and the snaps and stuff, but is there something to, footing on what could be a very cold and hard surface on Sunday night?
I think, our field, it's like heated and stuff like that. So I don't think it's not going to be like the old school frozen tundra or anything like that. So I think for the most part, any cold game, whether it's 30 degrees out or 2 degrees out or whatever it's going to be for this game, I think it's basically going to be the same. But I guess I'll have to let you know after the game.
All right. Mike Spofford.
Sorry, I didn't have anything else. Thanks, though.
Okay.
And last one, Tom Silverstein, if you have one more.
Yes, I do. Adam, when you went back and looked at the Vikings game in Minneapolis, how did you think you handled the blitzing? And then, the second time around you face a Zimmer team, does he bring something completely different? Or do you see, things that you did poorly, he's going to attack again?
Yeah, one thing, that him and his defensive staff do really well is scheming up blitzes. I thought the last time we played him overall, I felt really good about how we picked all the stuff up. There was a couple that got through that we need to correct. But overall, they brought some new stuff, and we handled it pretty well. So I was happy with how we did it this time. But you're always making adjustments. He's always making adjustments, just to kind of get guys through. And they've always had a lot of success with that, versus all their opponents. So that's one main emphasis this week is just making sure we're doing a great job communicating, a great job recognizing, and then just playing fast so we can pick up those pressures.